I was Chucky from Rugrats, so I was about that life. What's up, you guys? Britt here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hello babies, and welcome to my beautiful Brats family. My name is Brittany, Britt, Brat, Britt, whichever floats your boat. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be another story time video. Okay, we are back at it again with the story times, baby, period. So I cannot be happier to be back here with my story times, getting into the regular swing of things. I loved filming the other two videos that I filmed. There will be more just like them, but nothing beats my passion for story times, y'all. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about sharing my experiences with you guys and just being open and vulnerable and honest with you guys, it just brings my heart so much joy, and you know, I just love it. So thank you guys for supporting me, whether you just subscribed, whether you comment, whether you watch the videos, whether you like them. You know, it can really only go up from here at this point, and I just really want you guys to know that I really appreciate you guys. So yeah. So with that being said, grab something to sip on, grab something to munch on, and let's get right into it. This story time is going to be a little different just because I was a completely different person back then. And what I mean by that is, back then I was just very sensitive and very vulnerable, which I am now as well, but it was two different levels of sensitivity and vulnerability. And I just used to let people walk all over me and talk to me any kind of way and treat me any kind of way. I just allowed people to handle me, which is probably why I'm so hell-bent now on, you know, defending myself and standing up for what I believe is right, and, you know, just being very vocal about my emotions and vocal about my opinions and things like that. Because, y'all, I don't know what it was back then, but little Brittany, high school Brittany, she just wasn't about that life, and there had to be some changes. Like, adjustments needed to be made. So don't judge me, you guys. There will be parts in this story where you're confused as to why I let this girl handle me and why I let her get away with how she treated me and how she talked to me. But just remember, I was a completely different person. So I let things slide that I shouldn't have let slide. Yeah. All right, you guys, so this happened when I was a freshman in high school, and mind you, back then, just think Chucky from Rugrats. Like, that was me. Like, I wasn't that afraid of everything. It was just confrontation. Confrontation made me feel awkward. It made me uncomfortable. It freaked me out. It made me panic. Like, I just, as I said before, I just wasn't about that life, right? And there was this girl, and we're going to call her Pancake. We're gonna call her Pancake because she was so flip-floppy, y'all. Like, it was crazy. But anyway, yeah, so Pancake was in my freshman class, and she was one of those girls who just felt like everybody was afraid of her. She felt like she could beat everybody up. She was just so full of herself, and she had a big head. Like, her head was so big, y'all. Like, not physically, but like, because she filled her head up with, like, you know, she boosted her ego, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where she got the idea from that she was the HBIC, that she was, you know, that girl, like she was it, because she barely had any friends, and not a lot of people liked her because they thought she was a hoe, and you could just feel like this, there was just this phony negative energy about her, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people picked up on it. Now, as far as her being a hoe, I didn't know what she did in her spare time with the niggas at her school, but word was traveling fast that she was sneaking around with other people's boyfriends, and she was, you know, trying to break up relationships and things like that, you know, performing sexual favors and all that other stuff, which is fine if these niggas are single or, you know, they're not entertaining anybody, but they were. So not a lot of people like that. And again, you know, she just had this negative phony energy about her. Like, her bark was far bigger than her bite. Like, and people just didn't like that, you know what I'm saying? We did have one class together, and we weren't friends, but I did talk to her, you know, every now and then. That is until she started getting wrapped up in all this, you know, drama. I just didn't want to be a part of that. Like, seriously, you guys, every other week she was beefing with some girl. It would be her and her 2 or 3 friends or whatever, and then an army or a clique of girls, and it was just beef and drama, and usually it was over a guy. And I didn't want no part. Like, I just fell back. I didn't want anything to do with that negative energy, and I kind of just branched off and did my own thing. So one day we were in class and we were working out of our textbooks, right? And I went to the bathroom, or I left the classroom for something. I really don't even remember where I went. But I left the classroom, and when I came back, my textbook was missing. Now, mind you, Maya was the only person at the table. And so I asked her, you know, has she seen my book? Did she know where it was? And she told me that Pancake used it after I left the classroom to do whatever I was doing. And, you know, there was nothing really wrong with the fact that she used my book to finish her work or whatever, but I also needed to finish my work, and the book was nowhere to be found. And so, you know, Maya, she was just like, well, just wait till she get back to the classroom, then you can ask her about it, this, that, and the third, all that good stuff. And I continued to kind of, you know, look through my things just to make sure I didn't put it in my book bag, or just to make sure my coat or anything, like, it wasn't covering or it wasn't hidden or anything like that, because I knew for damn sure that it didn't just grow a pair of legs and walk away. Like, I knew that was out of the question, right? So maybe about 5-10 minutes passes, and Pancake walks back into the classroom. And immediately when she walks up to the table, she just looks at me and she's like, what you looking for? And I don't know why her attitude didn't catch me off guard, you know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't usually like that. Like, I don't know, something seemed off about her, but I didn't really pay it any mind. Well, you know, I'm just looking for my textbook. Do you know where it is? Like, have you seen it? And she kind of gave me this look, and she was like, girl, no, I don't know where your textbook at. And I was just like, okay, I see something's bothering you, so I'm going to leave you alone. Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And I just went back to looking for my textbook, right? I don't know why me looking for my own assigned textbook would bother anybody else and stop whatever the hell they got going on. But for some reason, Pancake just didn't like the fact that I was looking for my textbook. And she slammed her hand down on the table, y'all. And she was like, damn, girl, it's not that serious. It's a whole shelf of books over there. Go pick one. And I just didn't know how to handle that. Like, I was just kind of shook. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was just shook. I was just baffled. Like, what's the problem? Like, what did I do to you? The teacher was very, very hell-bent on us bringing our own books to class. She didn't like when we brought books off of the shelves, because students from her other classes would borrow them and leave them lying on the table, or, you know, they would try to sneak them out of the classroom. So I didn't feel like getting chewed out for borrowing a book, especially when I knew that I brought my book in. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I came prepared for class. I knew that I had the book that I was assigned in the beginning of the year. And I didn't want to pay that fine for losing the book. So even if I finished my work and turned it in at the end of the class when it was due, I still have a missing book. And I'm going to have to pay for it if the end of the year rolls around and I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So I was low-key panicking, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to make such a big scene about it, because this girl literally just went off on me, like, for whatever the hell reason, right? I just sat down and I stayed quiet, and I had in my mind that I was going to take that L. Like, I was going to take that L. And so my friend Maya, right, she's looking at me and she's like, are you gonna say something? Like, you just gonna let her talk to you like that? Like, she didn't say that, but that's how she's looking at me, like, say something. And I was like, it's fine, like, it's whatever, like, I don't care. And so Maya decided to say something herself. Mind you, you guys, Maya could not stand Pancake, okay? And one of the main reasons why was because, as I said before, Pancake was just all bark and no bite. Like, she talked a big game, but she couldn't back anything up. And people like that really triggered Maya. Like, I don't want to say triggered, but to me, it was low-key a trigger, because anytime she was around people like that, something about her was just off. So when she confronted Pancake, I knew it was about to be some mess. And she's like, so you literally gonna sit here in my face and lie to her? And Pancake is confused and she's like, what are you talking about? What am I lying about? And Maya's like, I literally saw you take her textbook and use it to finish your work. And and Pancake's like, well, if I had it, where is it now? And y'all, Maya looked at her. Oh, I don't know. You the one who had it. Where'd you put it? So at this point, I'm just like, this is getting a little out of hand. At this point, I could literally feel Maya's anger. Like, there was a shift in the atmosphere. Like, I'm not like this big shift, but it was definitely a shift in the atmosphere, you guys. And I could feel the negative energy bouncing off of Maya. Like, she was pissed, okay? And I didn't want this to go any further. I just wanted everything to stop, like the bickering, the tension. I just wanted it to stop. So I got up and I went to the bookshelf like a dummy and I picked up a book. Now, mind you, I waited till the teacher left the classroom because I wasn't trying to get chewed out or anything like that. And you know, I grabbed the book off the shelf, I finished my work, and I think I left it on a different table, like on the way out of the classroom, because by the time that I finished my work, the teacher came back in. And I didn't want, y'all, I was not trying to get in trouble, okay? So I left it on somebody else's table so they could get in trouble for it. And I skedaddled. Like, I was gone when that bell rang, right? So the next week rolls around, because that happened on like a Friday or something like that. And Maya and I walk into class, the same class, and this guy that sat at our table, he was now sitting in my old seat, like the seat where I usually sat, because it was usually me, Pancake, and then on the other side of the table, Maya and this boy. When we walked in, this boy was sitting in my seat. And Maya's immediately like, oh hell no, this hoe is not sitting next to me. Brittany, come on. And and so we sit, and in walks Pancake. And before she takes her seat, she has a textbook in her hand. And she walks over to me and she literally drops the textbook in front of me and she's like, here. But you didn't know where it was, though. Okay, so at that point, I was irritated. But again, y'all, I was Chucky from R.A.T.S, so I was about that life. Like, I know y'all probably tired of me saying that. Like, okay, Brittany, we get it. But I just want to stress to y'all, the Brittany that I am now is not who I was back then, baby, because you probably would have been like, but you didn't have it though. The whole time you had it though. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so she drops this textbook in front of me and I was like, thank you, you know, just trying to be nice, because I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal. I just didn't want to get in trouble by the teacher for borrowing a textbook, but she didn't even know that I borrowed the textbook, because I had to wait till she walked out of the classroom, and then I had to be an ignorant little child and sit the textbook somewhere else so somebody else could get in trouble for it. So the whole rest of the class period, you guys, I kid you not, like Pancake was ignoring me because I was trying to talk to her, you know, trying to apologize. And Maya is sitting here looking at me the whole time like, girl, like, stop talking to her. Like, at one point she actually hit me and she was like, stop talking to her, stop apologizing. And I was just like, okay, like, I don't know what else to do at this point. So fast forward to lunchtime. This is that same day when she dropped the textbook in front of my face. So later on that day at lunch, I'm talking to my friends and one of them asked me, you know, like, what's going on with you and Pancake? And so I told her, you know, what happened, everything that happened. And they're sitting here looking like, she's that mad over that, like over a textbook? A damn textbook? Really? And I was like, and the same friend, she's like, I thought it was something serious with the way she's carrying on. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, what's she saying? And long story short, you guys, Pancake is going around school saying that she's going to fight me, saying that I'm a hoe, saying all this other stuff, just calling me all these different types of names. And then she said that I was a kiss sub and all this other stuff, right? Now, why are you so upset about a textbook that wasn't even yours to begin with? And then turns out you had it the whole time. So you literally really had no reason to be mad. You mad because you got caught? Like, what's the problem?
What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch? I don't need to explain myself to you. And what was the reason?
If anybody, you shouldn't be like, you should be mad at yourself, not me. I didn't do anything to you. You know what I'm saying? I instantly felt some type of way. And I was just upset. Like, I didn't want no part. My feelings were hurt. I was upset. I felt played. And I'm pretty sure nobody believed that I was actually a hoe. But you know, when you're as sensitive as I was back then, like, words have power over you. And literally, you guys, I'm gonna be honest, words back then for me had too much power. And even now, I do let them get a little too much power, but they are powerful. You know what I'm saying? They move people, they hurt people's feelings. But back then, it was just way, like, I gave it way too much power, entirely too much. And so hearing that she was saying all this stuff about me was really breaking me down, and it was really bothering me because I just didn't understand why such a petty, minuscule situation turned into something so drastic and so dramatic. You know what I'm saying? And so I started crying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right then and there I started crying because my character was attacked. I felt like my feelings were hurt. Like, I was just shattered, to be honest. I'm just being honest. Like, I was shattered and I felt really bad. And whereas a lot of people would be ready to fight and just march up to that girl and just knock her dead in her teeth, like, I had that anger inside of me. But as I said before, like, I just never did anything with it because I was so afraid of confrontation, you guys. My friends are just like, no, it's okay. Like, don't worry about her. You know, she's a hoe. She's this. Don't nobody like her. You know, just trying to cheer me up. And I know that a lot of times when you see that your friend is hurting because of somebody and what they've done to that person, you tend, like, all of us do it, because I do it too. Like, sometimes we tend to bash those people who, you know, hurt our friends, but it just wasn't making me feel any better. It was just making me feel worse, actually, because of the fact that I couldn't stand up to somebody who was just so rude and so mean and disrespectful for literally no reason. You know what I'm saying? So after giving it some thought, I decided that I was going to take it upon myself to at least try to confront this girl, because at this point, this is my character that you're attacking. This is my personality. This is who I am as a person, and you're pretty much almost defaming my character. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't sit well with me. So I had it in my head that I was going to confront her. However, things didn't go to plan, because obviously if I was hearing about, you know, all these rumors that she was spreading about me and all these lies, Of course, Maya was going to hear it. She knew me. She knew that hearing this would hurt my feelings. She knew that I more than likely wasn't going to address the situation. And being that she was such a good friend and being that she knew that I didn't have it in me, she took it upon herself to confront Pancake. Now, I don't know what she said to Pancake because she didn't tell me what she said, but she did tell me that she confronted Pancake. Like the next day I saw her, because Maya and I had classes with each other every day. So the next day when I saw her, she told me, she was like, I had a conversation with Pancake. I'm not going to tell you what I said, but I had a conversation with her. And that same day that she told me that she talked to Pancake, Pancake pulled me aside and she was just like, look, I apologize for spreading rumors and spreading lies and being shady and being disrespectful and, you know, just, you know, pretty much bullying you. But you did really upset me that day because I just felt like you were being over dramatic and you're being overly sensitive about a book. I said, I never said anything out of the way to you. I never did anything out of the way to you. If you felt like that's what I was doing, I apologize. I'm sorry, you know? And she cut me off mid-sentence and she's like, oh, I know you're not coming for me. I know you're not coming for me. And at that point, I was just like, okay, you trying to argue, you trying to, you know, start something, you just trying to show out, and I'm not about that. So I'm gonna leave you where you standing and I'm gonna walk away. And that's what I did. Like, I literally walked away from her while she was still talking. And I guess that probably wasn't the best thing to do because all it did was stir up more drama. So literally the next week rolls around and we're at lunch again. I'm with my same friends and we're talking again. And Maya came up to the table and she pulls me outside and she's like, did something else happen between you and Pancake? And I'm like, no, not really. You know, she apologized for spreading rumors and things like that. And then the conversation kind of went downhill. So I walked away. And she was like, while she was still talking, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, why? You know, like, what's going on? And I could tell that she didn't want to tell me. But she ended up telling me that Pancake was threatening me, saying that she was going to beat me up, saying that the next time she saw me, it was on site. She was going to send me to the hospital. You know, just all these public threats. And she was going around to a few people saying this. And, you know, I don't think anybody was really hyping her up. Probably other than her friends. But after Maya told me what Pancake had been saying, you know, about fighting me and beating me up and sending me to the hospital, all this other stuff, she and her friends literally stood by my side. And that's another thing that kind of, you know, pushed me into being more hell-bent on standing up for myself, because I didn't like feeling like I needed to have bodyguards around me. Like, that made me feel pathetic. It made me feel pitiful, and I didn't like that feeling. And they were just being good friends. I tried my hardest to, you know, just push myself to speak up, because it's not that hard. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but it's not that hard to say, hey, this bothers me. What's hard is not knowing how that person is going to react. I just felt like changes needed to be made, adjustments needed to be made, especially because Maya and my other friends weren't going to be around for me all the time. So I needed to learn how to stick up for myself and, you know, defend myself. And it took a minute, but y'all, I got there, and I'm proud of myself about that. As far as Pancake fighting me, obviously it never happened. As I said before, she was just all bark and no bite. Or maybe Maya and her friends scared her off. I don't know what it was, but she never, you know, did anything. She never tried to do anything, but she was very shady towards me. Very much so, very shady. But that didn't really bother me nearly as much as the threats did. So I'm glad that Maya and her friends were there for me, but at the same time, like, I I just felt so, like, I feel so sorry. Like, looking back on it, like, I just feel so pitiful. But at the same time, I'm just so happy that, you know, I'm past that point in my life, because literally I can't imagine how my life would be now if I was still nearly as sensitive as I was back then. Like, I cannot imagine that. Like, my God, like, all right, you guys, so that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to join my Bratz fam that I'm trying to start here on YouTube, all you have to do is comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any updates from me. And until the next video, you guys, please, please, please be safe, stay bold, stay beautiful. And at the end of the day, when all else fails, just be real about that sugar honey iced tea, baby. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.
I'd rather keep it real with ya. I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening?